Okay, I have my hazards on at the moment, and for no particular reason other than to show you what they look like right now. These are my first mod that I did for the indicators. They normally come with these huge amber lensed things like the ones on the back here. Now, I don't really like that look, so I decided I'd tighten it up a little bit, disregard the wires. I'm taking them apart, but they normally look a bit more like that, all heat shrinked up, etc. Now, with them in like that, you can see this is during the day. Well, I'm inside a garage, but they still are relatively noticeable. But a couple of things I've noticed over time is that this brightness has gone down a little bit. Also, you won't be able to see because of the lights, but on this one in particular, they started oxidizing very quickly. I made mention of that in my last video. So with that in mind, today I'm putting on some new indicators. Now, in the meantime, I bought some other indicators. I'll show you what these look like when they're powered up. But they were too low already. Like I just stuck them on a portable battery. And yes, they're really quite bad. These ones I'll put up the link from where I got them from, are Amber CREE LED projectors. They are round. They come with a 90-degree little mounting tab, which means that they will be hanging down, not as bad as the original chrome ones, but they'll be hanging down from this point here down. So just a little 90-degree and out. Actually, it would be this way down like that. But so we're going to do that. We'll set that up, and I'll show you what all the LEDs look like beside each other using a portable battery from a drill, so you can judge them. I'll put all three of them beside each other. Okay. So as you can see, or maybe not, that is quite bright. Now, admittedly, we're putting 18 volts through, not 12, so that's slightly overdriven. But you can see it's pretty bright indeed. So this is the one that I'm replacing. On the bike with 12 volts or 13 volts, whatever gets thrown through it, it's not as bright as this. If it were as bright as this, I wouldn't be. Now for the next one. Now these were cheapy ones, same sort of brand, Amazon N3, I think they're called. They were sold for my bike, but I think the mountings and the same problem with the original here are for the hydraulic clutch cylinder mounting perches and not the non-hydraulic, because they never fit, and this one doesn't fit either properly. But I'll show you this anyway. I'll just have to set this up. So this is the second indicator. I put one on, tried it, and immediately took it off again and put the old ones, the corroded ones back on. This is it being overdriven with 18 volts. Okay. Yes, it's larger than the other one. However, it is a lot less bright, even with 18 volts. And when you put 12 volts on, you can barely see it. Now, for some, they don't really care about their indicators, but I certainly do. So with that said, we'll put the CREE ones on now. So this is the CREE LED light. The lens is convex. It goes around. And it also seems to be a magnifier as well, as you can possibly see in the video there. Aluminium, black anodized, and this is a screw thread at the back here, which is going to allow me to put it onto the bike, hopefully. So we'll just put this up onto the 18 volt. Please remember, again, 18 volts, so this is going to be slightly brighter than it was before. And this is the CREE LED lamp that I'm going to put on. They're not flashing. They would normally flash. You can get them for the Americans. You can get them with daylight running as well. This is just a 2-wire because it's amber. Because we're in Australia, we're not allowed to do that. So as you can see, my slightly better. To be honest, with the overdriving on this, the originals, these ones, are probably brighter than this one that I've got in the hand right now, the CREE round ones. But they're corroding, and 2, I suspect that this from a distance is a little bit more noticeable. Okay, let's put it on the bike. Okay, so here we are. We're in situ, just the one side. So the other side is still the old one over there on the right side. And that's the new one. From my mind, I think it's going to be more noticeable from the side. So for an example, I'm now sort of off to the side here. These ones here, these rectangular ones here, don't have a lot of, I suppose you'd call it peripheral, whereas that one does have more peripheral. I will say that for sure. However, it is not as bright as I was led to believe on the website. And I think that's probably because they used an 18-volt battery, as I did, to test it, which is all good and well, but you don't have 18 volts on your motorcycle. So the old one's over here. I'll get right in front of it. It's about where I need to be. And this is right in front of this one. Very difficult to know from my point of view. I will tell you one small issue, major issue. Obviously, when you're wiring them up, you need to cut the amounts of wire that you see here. Now, this stuff is super thin. The insulation you can break with your fingers, literally one side and the other, and just pull apart. Very, very, very difficult. I probably lost a good 2 inches of wire before I got where I wanted to be. So it's nothing like this thickness, which you see here, which is from this this mob here, which are definitely not, I'm definitely not running these. Nowhere near the thickness of that. It is ridiculously small. I eventually got it in. I had to extend it with some proper gauge wire, and down in there there's it's soldered in, etc. But really, I'm not happy with the gauge of the wire that's going to the LED. Now, I know that LEDs don't draw as much, so the gauge point of view isn't a problem, but just working with it, getting it onto the bike and trying to match it, yeah. Okay, that's the front indicators on and in position. They aren't as bright as the ones that I replaced, which were those chrome ones that have started to corrode. They are, however, more noticeable from a peripheral diagonal point of view, e.g. from the front and back and slightly to the side, whereas the rectangular ones that went underneath here and went across there weren't as noticeable from the side. Anyway, I think it's a 70% happy with that. I think some of it might be down to the fact that I had problems with the installation, which again, if the gauge was just a little bit bigger, just like the other ones, even if it was just more like I don't know, even an 18 gauge or something like that, something really, or AWG, whatever that is, that would have made it much easier. But otherwise, it's all in position. You can see them flashing away there. So yeah, pretty happy.